What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I am back with another videos. Sorry about yesterday. We couldn't do the Xbox versus Pony podcast. Had to take the kids to a party, so I do apologize about that. Also, too, check out BGST. Great show. We had a great show. Had a good time Sunday. And again, like I said, when there's smoke, there's fire. Some rumors came out regarding the next Xbox or Xbox One 2.0, whatever you want to call it. And this console is going to be a beast. Something, like I said, something that I've been saying for a while, but um, that Microsoft and, Sony bringing out new hardware. And to be honest, like I said, I was impressed by the quote unquote the PlayStation 4 Neo specs. And to put that in perspective, what I mean by that is, you look at a game like Rise, was done with only 1.3 teraflops. Hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. You look at a game like Rise, was done with only 1.3 teraflops, and what's in the Xbox One. You look at the game like The Order, which and the PlayStation 4 is 1.8 teraflops. And like I said, I was extremely impressed with the quote unquote the PlayStation 4 Neo specs. We're talking about 4 teraflops plus. Now, according to this rumor right here, check this shit out right here. It said a new Xbox, what's that? The new Xbox will launch next spring, according to a source who wishes to remain anonymous, of course. The report comes from the Eurogamer in Italy. The new Xbox will be the most powerful console ever, and may feature 10 teraflops in terms of performance. 10 teraflops. Now, going back to what Phil says, he said, the next console is going to be a substantial leap. 10 teraflops? My God. That is basically, we're talking about 4K native gaming, 60 frames a second. We're talking about, that's at least, damn near, 2.5 times more powerful than the Neo. Like, that's a lot of power. And I'm reading the comments and shit. Sony fans are losing their mind. Mark my word on this right here. If these specs come out to be true as far as the Xbox One, well, the next Xbox second generation, and it's indeed, 10 teraflops or whatever they can, or it wipes the floor with the PlayStation 4 in terms of performance, I guarantee you it's not going to be about power anymore in resolution. It's going to be about games. I guarantee you, because this whole generation, like I said before, and I say it again, has been all about power, resolution, frames per second. It hasn't been about the game. Hasn't been about how good Quantum Break or Gears of 4 been. No. Every week, gamers, console, the Xbox and the pony, they run and haul ass the digital foundry and see who has more blades. Like, I think that shit is crazy as hell. Like, there's no denying it that the PlayStation 4 is indeed slightly more powerful than the Xbox One. Their GPU is just a 2 gigabyte. Their GPU is 2 gigs, and the Xbox One has 1 gig as far as the GPU. It's capable console, but like I said, this generation has not been about the games. I've told you that Microsoft would never get caught with their pants down again, like in terms of comes performance. And they talk about the game's gonna be backwards and forwards compatible, so you're gonna keep your same game in library. But here they're saying this console is not gonna launch until the spring of next year. If that does happen, just to be honest, and the PlayStation 4 Neo comes out this year, given these specs right here, Microsoft shows what their next console is, doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because we talking about like this is big, this is huge. You know what I mean? Like, how can I say? You know what I mean? Sign me up right now. Take my money right now. Now he can say, take my money right now. You know what I mean? That's huge. You know, Sony fans. I'm not talking about gamers. Sony fans right now are losing. Shout out to D Crap Gamer behind me. Sony fans right now, I'm reading this, are losing their fucking mind. For the last 2 weeks or so, it's all been about the Neo, the Neo, the Neo. Microsoft's not gonna be able to touch the Neo. If these specs, excuse my French, are even close to this, listen, the whatever Microsoft comes out with, whether it be the Neo or whatever, I'm sorry, not the EO, whether it's the Xbox 1.5 or whether it's the Xbox 2.0, it's going to be more powerful than what Sony has to offer. It is, you know what I mean? And I remember Crap was saying, he's saying that no matter what Microsoft does, people are still going to find something. This biggest thorn that's been in Microsoft's side, ladies and gentlemen, has been the resolution. So Microsoft can take away that whole resolution, and now we can just talk about the games, because we can argue until the sun comes out home who has the better exclusives. That's all for a matter of opinion. But one thing these consoles do have in common are their multiplats, and that's been hurt Microsoft this generation, is that Sony was able to hit 1080p quote unquote 99.9% of the time, and not so much for the Xbox One. It's been 900p or whatever the case. But I guess I done heard some of the most craziest resolutions this generation. But now imagine this: if these specs come out or whatever the case may be, and the series specs for the next console, we're talking about 4K. So when you imagine now when the Xbox One are playing Battlefield 5 or whatever, and that's in 4K native, and the PlayStation 4 version is only 1080p 60 frames a second, could you imagine this shitstorm? Maybe, like I said, maybe this is why Sony is launching the PlayStation 4 Neo before, so quick, because they're trying to get the jump. Well, this is my opinion now, that they're trying to get the jump on Microsoft, and trying to keep their gamers loyal to their ecosystem, because there's no way, and let's be honest, Sony can outspend Microsoft in terms of R&D. Like, it is what it is. Now, according to this article here, that Microsoft is going to take a loss on hardware sales. You know what I mean? Now, I wonder what they're going to sell this for. But if you think it's 10 teraflops, you can listen. $500 easy. You know what I mean? And it's going to be able to do 4K native. They can get should I say even $600. You know what I mean? Let's go down. What's some of this shit here? He said, I got to read some of the slides from Microsoft AMD about the new Xbox and in effect of the new model. It's not a remake of the Xbox One. They should announce this year at a separate E3 event. I can guarantee you, for the new Xbox One is in pre-production. AMD has signed 3 new agreements for this year. Of course, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. People were talking about this whole Slim thing. Like I said, Slim doesn't really make any sense, just to be honest with you. But this here, the chip is based on an Arctic Alex family. AMD's a 14 nanometer chip, or slash Polaris. My God, it's x86, of course. Still going to be Windows 10. Your Xbox One games are going to run it also. But damn, we're talking about 10 teraflops. I've been jumping up and down talking about these 4 teraflops, because there's a lot of power, in a closed environment. I think a GTX 970 is about 4 teraflops, but a GTX 970 in a computer rig, say if it is 4 teraflops or a little more, a little under, 4 teraflops in the PlayStation 4 Neo will outperform that rig, because it's a closed environment and it doesn't require the same resources as, say, a PC or whatever the case may be. Like, this is huge. Now, like you said, you got the NX. It doesn't even matter what the fuck. Nintendo's not even coming to E3 again. And I have a special video that I'm going to do about Nintendo. Also, slide of goddamn cash. Why I carry so much cash on you? Because I can, bitch. You know what I mean? I'm sorry about that. But this are bananas. Xbox fans, are you happy about this? Now like I said, now the Xbox guys are going to have the most powerful console. I guarantee you now, people are going to run back and say, you know what, let's talk about the games. I've been saying it this whole generation. You know what I mean? I've been saying it this whole generation. Like, I think it's the silliest shit in the world when console gamers argue over resolutions and frames per second. You know, and also again, resolution does not determine graphics, the textures, the shaders. Now with the PlayStation 4 Neo, every game starting from October forward, you're gonna be able to play it in Neo mode, and in Neo mode, games are gonna have higher graphic fidelity, higher resolution, you know, higher frame rate, or whatever the case may be. But this next Xbox, 10 teraflops. Now listen, this can all be a rumor, but listen, you mark my words right here now. Microsoft's whatever their next console is going to be, is in fact it's going to be more powerful than the Neo. I can guarantee you that. You know what I mean? And with this console too, also it may be an upgradable console. So whatever Sony decides to come out with in the future, hey Microsoft, here we got that cover. But damn, too much 10 teraflops in a fucking closed environment. This may be the last goddamn console. That's a lot of power. Like my man Iron Wolf said, 4 Titans, and that's the facts. The Xbox with the cloud is more powerful than 4 Titans, and that's the facts. If this next Xbox One has 10 teraflops, forget about it, man. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. This is your boy Next in Gen 720 out here. Look out for the Xbox versus Pony podcast. We're gonna do that at about 7 p.m. sharp. You know what I mean? Damn, this is bananas. Hot as hell in this house too. I'm out of here. Bang.